You're watching Breakfast Television on City TV. Okay, the gentleman sitting to my right, on your left, he's had songs written about him. He's had a movie come out based on your life. Still brings a smile to millions of people around the world, including myself, who watched you compete in the '88 Olympic Games. Eddie the Eagle, Michael Edwards, Eddie the Eagle in Calgary, this time part of the Stampede Grandstand Show. And you were saying just a second ago during the commercial that this is your first time in Calgary in the summer.
It is. I've been to Calgary probably about 10 times over the last 30 years, but it's always in the winter, either coming into Calgary to celebrate the year anniversary and the 20-year anniversary, but or flying into Calgary to go on to places like Whitefish or Kicking Horse or Jasper or places like that. So yeah, first time in the summer. It's beautiful.
Okay, and the Stampede. What's your first impression of the Stampede then?
I've heard about the Stampede ever since 30 years ago when I came to the Olympics, but I've never had a chance to come, and here I am now in the Stampede. It's wonderful. I love it. It's so busy, it's vibrant, there's kids everywhere, it's a fairground, and of course the Grandstand Show is just phenomenal. I love it.
And what's your role in the show? For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, what's your role?
Well, I celebrate, obviously, because the show is all about 50 years of Calgary.
Yes.
And 50 years of the show. And so they go back, and of course 30 years ago the Olympics, so they show a little bit of footage of me from the Olympic Games, and then I fly over the stage in a harness with fireworks coming off the back of my skis.
Are you kidding me?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. You should come and see it.
Okay, was that in your contract? I'm only coming as long as I have fireworks shooting out of the back of my skis?
No, I wasn't sure how they were going to do it and what I was going to be doing. I just said, yeah, I'll come along. I'd love to be a part of the Stampede and a part of the show. But I wasn't quite sure what I had in store, and then when I arrived, I went, oh, wow, this is fantastic. I love anything weird and wonderful. I love doing it.
Was your first rehearsal a little odd? Or?
It was, and I literally flew in from London, flew into Calgary, and I went straight to straight for rehearsals.
Okay.
So they put me in a harness, and I went up and got straight on with it. And yeah, no messing around, just get straight in. And the first one or two rehearsals were a bit hair-raising, but now it's easy, it's fine.
Now it's old
very
hat.
Settled, and it's old hat, yeah.
Very good. Okay, so we know what you're doing right now during the Stampede, and for the till this Sunday at least. What does Eddie the Eagle? What does Michael Edwards do back home in the UK? I mean, what's a regular day for you?
Well, I'm renovating a house.
Okay.
So I still work in construction.
Yeah.
Just like my dad and my brother and my uncles all did. So yeah. So when I'm not busy doing. Because most of my time now, I do a lot of after-dinner speaking, motivational talks, talk all around the world about how I got to Olympic Games and the resilience and the tenacity that I used in order to get to achieve my dream of going to those Olympic Games. So I travel all over the world and do things like this, TV shows and things, just weird and wonderful things. But when I'm not doing that, I stay at home and work on my house.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, construction.
I was going to say, good for you.
Keeps me fit.
I want to touch on the tenacity because I can't remember where I was reading this, and it was directly attributed to you. Did you really sleep in like sheds?
Yeah.
And pull food from a dumpster just because you had no money and no funding?
I did. I slept in the back of the car. I slept in cow sheds. I slept in a mental hospital in Finland.
Really?
Yeah.
All trying to scrimp and save to train, right?
That's right. And even though I had the money to stay in a hotel, I thought that the money that I had can either pay for one night in a hotel or pay for food for 2 months. And I'd rather stay out there for 2 months and ski jump for 2 months than stay in a hotel for one night and go home.
Okay.
So it was always my biggest priority was to get out there and ski jump. And if that meant sleeping in the car and scraping food out of bins, then so be it.
What was your first thought when you were standing at the top of the 90-meter jump out at COP, Canada Olympic Park, for the Olympics? Were you kind of prepared? Were you ready? Or were you just like, oh, I'm just going to give it a go?
Yeah, it was a bit like that. I was kind of prepared because this was my dream of getting to those Olympic Games. It was a dream since I was a little boy. I didn't know that I was going to do it ski jumping. So that was that. But I was also very, very scared because I hadn't done many jumps off the 120-meter. I'd only done about 5, and I'd fallen over and hurt myself already 3 times. And I didn't want to fall over in front of all those millions of people on television, billions of people around the world. I didn't want to fall on my bum. But everything went well, and it was great. And the crowd were wonderful, and the Calgarians were lovely. They really took me to their heart, and it was an incredible experience.
Do you still have the ski suit?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
it disintegrated.
Oh, okay.
Throw it away. But I still have my Olympic bib.
You do?
And stuff. In the show, I wear the glasses that I wore 30 years ago.
The real pair?
The real pair.
And we see you're not wearing them now, so you've had...
I don't have to wear glasses. I had eye surgery.
Sure.
But I do wear them for things like this because they're celebrating the Olympic Games from 30 years ago. So I try and wear what I wore 30 years ago.
Well, there you go. It's a pleasure meeting you, Michael. Eddie the Eagle, Michael Edwards. I don't know what to call you. Do I call you Eddie? Do I call you Michael?
I answer to both.
There you go. Very good. It's a pleasure. Hopefully you enjoy your summertime here in the city of Calgary.
Thank you.
Hope you've had the mini donuts you were telling me.
Oh, I have, yes. I'm going to get some more.
Oh, good for you. He's a purist, too. No, none of the sugar on there. Just straight up donut.
Straight up donuts.
Eddie the Eagle, a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. We still have more to come this morning.